Zambezi watercourse is Africa's fourth largest, spanning the 8 Zambezi riparian states and home to over 45 million people. The area in question centers on the 2,500-kilometer journey of the Zambezi and its tributaries. In 2004, Angola, Botswana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Tanzania, Zambia and Zimbabwe collaborated to form the Zambezi Watercourse Commission, or ZAMCOM.
We are a watercourse that looks at the collection of all waters within the geographical location that drains towards one point. And we also pay special attention to issues related to groundwater.
As ZAMCOM, we recognize the obligation to sustainably manage our common water resources. These resources must promote economic growth for the people of the Zambezi watercourse and beyond, to overcome poverty, aid livelihoods, and manage the region's environmental diversity. 44% of the watercourse's population live below the poverty line. 65% of the rural population depend on rain-fed agriculture. As rains become more erratic due to climate change, people's prospects for sustainable economic growth are affected. By taking care of the environment and the water-related resources, ZAMCOM is able to look after people, reduce poverty, and contribute to a growing economy. Our strategic plan inspires members to collaborate in our vision to achieve the future that maximizes economic benefits of water development, addresses issues such as land degradation, competing water uses, and deficits in water infrastructure. The plan has 4 pillars: infrastructure investment, livelihood support, environmental protection and utilization, and water resources management. To implement the plan, we work with like-minded organizations such as CRIDF, which facilitated the development of our livelihoods component and the vulnerability hotspot assessment. This focus is on more equitably improving rural livelihoods and resilience in a sustainable way, while reducing siltation and land degradation. By carefully weighing people's needs, our approach prioritizes areas for livelihoods interventions to overcome poverty and sustainably use our water and natural resources. This approach follows a step-by-step process. In the first step, we develop a number of maps of the watercourse using different lenses. These different lenses, environmental, social, political, climatic, and economic, show us different levels and areas of stress. When these are examined together, it is easier to see potential high-risk areas or hotspots. These areas are then prioritized and taken into the second step. This step ensures our data reflects the reality on the ground. We consult the people who know this best, those living in the affected communities. Through these facilitated workshops, we gain insights into the many ways water is used, for example, in the environment, in irrigation, in aquaculture and farming, and in the generation of energy. These sessions guide us to answer important questions such as why these areas are vulnerable, who the most vulnerable are, and to better understand which types of interventions might address the challenges. This approach forms a foundation for building an inclusive community and stakeholder-owned solution. By participating in developing the solution, stakeholders are more likely to own and drive the implementation. Plans are underway to design and mobilize a Livelihoods Support financial investment program. This will support the implementation of a wide range of interventions to improve equitable water access for both households and industrial use. For example, by noting differences in water usage between rural, urban, and peri-urban areas, we can introduce appropriate pay-for-use practices and governance structures. In agriculture, where 97% of the crops are rain-fed, we are working to implement rainwater harvesting, develop a small-scale water irrigation and storage, facilitate market access for smallhold farmers, and introduce climate-smart practices. In supporting environmental management, we are promoting practices to reduce flooding and silting and to increase the recharge of groundwater. In promoting energy sustainability, we are working to implement solar-powered programs for livelihoods and household use, as well as small-scale hydropower generation. These solutions reduce the use of carbon-based fuels like wood, while promoting soil conservation and reducing sediment buildup. Through our partnership with CRIDF, we are fulfilling our mandate.
CRIDF has been a very strategic partner, so to speak, in that it is very focused on helping ZAMCOM deliver tangible outputs that can make a difference and from which you can learn.
By enhancing adaptive capacity, strengthening institutional foundations, and promoting equitable and reasonable use of our shared water resource, as well as promoting efficient management and sustainable development of these resources. Together, we will build the resilience of the Zambezi watercourse for both its people and the vital ecosystems on which they depend.